Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this special series of videos on natal planets conjunct the nodes and transiting planets conjunct the nodes. Originally, when I created these videos, they ended up being over an hour long, where I went through the sky and talked about each of the planets. Now, what I've done is I've edited these videos down so that you can get right to the information that you want. Look at the exact planet that you want. I want to thank you so much for watching, and thank you especially for the suggestions that you guys give me on the videos that you want to see in the YouTube comments, on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course my website, nadiyashah.com. Please do keep those questions, suggestions, interactions, and positive energy coming. It really does mean so much to me. And if you like these videos, please share them. And of course, let me know online. Enjoy. Work with. So Pluto conjunct the South Node, that's power games. That's very draining, attracting people who drain you of energy. Neptune conjunct the South Node can also be people draining you of energy. Pluto conjunct the South Node, people who drain you of energy. Not always the funnest placement, not always the easiest placement. This can be also, in all honesty, in the early part of life, attracting experiences that feel like there's a sense of betrayal or manipulation, attracting people who maybe are not very nice to you as well can be there, depending on how that Pluto is aspected. Pluto conjunct the North Node, and I'm sort of moving on, but I still want to emphasize Pluto conjunct the South Node, not an easy placement. These can be people who in the early part of life experience some sort of sadness, some sort of unfairness, even abuse as well, or feel a sense of abuse as well. Pluto conjunct the North Node, but ultimately, I know I'm going back to this again, because I do believe that everything is in the chart the way it is for a reason, and it's about everything being in the chart exactly the way it is, because it's about empowering you, uplifting you, you being moved towards greater love and greater wisdom as part of the mystery as well. And so ultimately, wherever Pluto is, it's about transcending that energy and turning that energy around into a force of transformation in your own life and in others. It is about the phoenix rising from the ashes. And so when you have Pluto conjunct the South Node, you do have an awareness of a proverbial sense of where your ashes are, if you will, that you have to rise from. Pluto conjunct the North Node is really powerful, because this is about attracting people who have a deeply transformative effect on your life, people who you connect with inside and out, people who affect you to the core. And this is about being a force of transformation in the world as well. People who have Pluto conjunct the North Node can attract people who are like therapists. Psychoanalysis is covered by Pluto, because it is about the psychological regeneration, and it's about life, death, rebirth, right? It's about being reborn. And when you have Pluto conjunct the North Node, it really is in the process of at least one important rebirth in your life that you align yourself very powerfully with that energy that is moving you towards greater love and greater wisdom. And this is about attracting some pretty heavy-duty people. You will attract some pretty intense people. The intense people, if you've got Pluto conjunct the South Node, the intense people, it can be really intense in a way that might not always feel so great in the early part of life. If you've got Pluto conjunct the North Node in the later part of life, you'll attract people who are really bringing forward a sense of you being reborn constantly, being reborn again and again as a more and more authentic version of yourself. But more than that, a more essential version of yourself, where you leave behind the superfluous. With this, I'm reminded of, and I actually wrote an academic paper on this, Inanna's Descent, and it's on my website if you'd like to read it. And I talked earlier about Mars. I've written about Mars as well as an academic paper, and that's on my website as well under articles. But with the story of Inanna, so this is a Sumerian myth, and it's been repeated in a lot of different cultures as well. And basically, she has to enter the underworld to comfort her, I think it was so long ago, I think it was her sister or sister-in-law who's mourning the loss of her partner. And she's the queen, Inanna is the queen, and she has to go through these 7 different stages. And at each stage, she's letting go of some layer that is identifying her as royalty. And so this is part of that sort of shedding. This is part of that process of having to let go of something superfluous that isn't at the essence who you are, so that you can then go and sit with that pain and then re-emerge with a deeper understanding of what really matters in life, what really matters in yourself. So that's what that myth speaks to. And that is a process that you're going to go through again and again over the course of your life when you've got Pluto conjunct the North Node, and that is going to be triggered by key people. But that means that your life is truly your own, that you are not carrying any weight that's not yours. More and more, you're letting go of a lot of things that don't matter as part of really stepping into your power. And that's where you really uncover a sense of wealth, because then you really tap into an energy that is about you stepping into wealth. And these are people who certainly can build great wealth over the course of their lifetime by understanding that it's not about the wealth. It's about being true to you and being in the essence of who you are, the truth of who you are. And that in turn leads to great prosperity. And finally,